Hey, creative soul, have you ever had the experience of reading your fiction at a public reading only to have someone in the audience get way too personal? Maybe they ask you, is this autobiographical or is this about you? Well, I have a response for that. If you don't know me, my name is Johnny. You can learn more about me and what I do at my website, johnnymazzacco.com, and on my blog, Writing Through the Body. All right, so what I want to share with you is something that one of my professors taught me when I was in grad school. He did a variety of things. He made films, he was an installation artist, and he frequently created work that really raised eyebrows. And without fail, someone would ask him if his work was about him. And I think, first of all, people who don't write or create don't understand the way the process works. And especially, I think, with the writing process. So we're often told to write what we know. And of course, we're going to do that because we will be able to better render the story more believable, right? If I wanted to tell a story that is set in Scotland for some reason, I would not be able to do it justice because I haven't been there. So writing about what we know just makes sense. And I think we're also compelled to share the things that we carry inside us. And I think this also applies even when we are writing about things that we have experienced. This doesn't mean, though, that we are telling our own stories. This doesn't mean that we are writing autobiography. Write what you know and autobiography or memoir are two different things. Memoir, autobiography over here, writing what you know for fiction over here. Over the process of developing a character and allowing the story to unfold, a kind of perspective happens or maybe a distance of sorts. And even if it started out to be about us, after a while it no longer is. And I could go on and on about this because I think the work should be about the work, at least for me anyway, and for a lot of writers that I know. So here's what my professor shared with me, and I want to share it with you. He said, when someone asks you that question, is this about you? Ask them this. Will knowing that allow you to take in the work in a better or deeper way? Okay, I'll say it again. Will knowing that allow you to take in the work in a better or deeper way? I have used this over and over, and no one has ever said yes to me. The question really makes them stop and consider. Now, here's the thing. If those of us who write fiction wanted to write stories about ourselves and our lives as they've played out thus far, we would be writing memoir and autobiography and personal essay. And as the adage says about the goal of fiction, we have to lie to tell the truth. And this is what fiction does, right? It tells those deeper universal truths about the dramas of being human. And the reason for that is because we're able to look at characters and stories in a variety of perspectives, rather than from our own singular lived experience. So if you get that question and it feels invasive to you, or you feel like it takes the focus away from your work, try that line and see what happens. And I will say this, if someone were to say yes, knowing if the story is about you would help me understand it more deeply, ask them, how so? Chances are they don't know. They're just being nosy. And even if they were to give you an answer to your how so question, you can always say you prefer to keep the discussion about the work. Then ask the person if they have another question about the work, or move on to someone else. I know that for some this might sound harsh or brazen, but when we write, we are already exposing ourselves. Then to have complete strangers try to crack the code is just not okay. We are allowed to have the boundaries that we need to do the work we're on this earth to do, and to feel safe doing it. I hope that helps, lovely writer. As always, I send you mad writing mojo. Happy writing.